Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Words for Life. My name is Stephen, and I'll be your host today. This is the podcast where we look for motivation and inspiration through quotes, ideas, phrases, and people. Today's quote goes like this: Just because you lost me as a friend doesn't mean you gained me as an enemy. I'm bigger than that. I still want to see you eat, just not at my table. This came from Tupac. This quote is very interesting, especially in the environment we live in now. Many times people disagree with each other and they think just because they disagree, they can't be friends. They can't talk to each other and that they should have ill will towards that other person. That's not the case. Disagreement can spark discussion and it can also lead to better understanding. And this is where it becomes important to keep an open mind. So, just because you're not friends and you don't agree on something doesn't mean that you should have ill will or negative thoughts towards another person. Now, obviously, if they've harmed you, then that's a different case. But if somebody doesn't share the same values, unless they're trying to force their own values on you, there's no reason not to still remain friends unless that division of values is too extreme. And then that still doesn't mean that you should be enemies. So, do you find that you have areas in your life where you maybe work with somebody or you have a family member that you disagree on something? Anything. It could be anything, or that you don't feel like you can be friends. Take those situations in your life and evaluate them. Is it something that you truly feel like you have to be enemies on, that you can no longer work together in other aspects of your life? I would imagine that if you look at the things outside of that one disagreement or that one type of value, as long as it doesn't like greatly conflict with your own values or force you to try and change your values, you can probably have other commonalities or other similar interests that if you had stuck in that kind of not a friend, must be an enemy mindset, then you probably wouldn't have found those things. So take a look at the relationships in your life and see, are there some that you maybe not enemy, but like a disagreeable person you don't want to work with? Is it because of a single incident or a specific perspective that the person has? And take that as maybe an opportunity to learn something new. Is there a different viewpoint that you could try and gain insight from that you might not have thought of before? So keeping that open mind. The other part is that there might be other things that that person is interested in that you are also interested in, and just because you have one area of your all's lives that you don't agree with, it doesn't mean that all areas have to be enemies in. So evaluate your relationships and see if there are any that you might want to go and try and work on and see if they can expand around those disagreements or those areas where you might be enemies in, and try and improve on those. The more we gain insight from other people, the better and more and faster we can learn ourselves. So it's a good opportunity to see if there's other areas or aspects that you do agree on or that you can expand your learning for. Remember, just because you lost me as a friend doesn't mean you gained me as an enemy. I still want to see you eat, just not at my table. This is an important reminder that we can still be acquaintances, but don't have to be friends and don't have to be enemies. It can be an in between. If you have any example relationships that you've run into and you've found this path in your life, I would love to hear about those and try and see if there's anything that I could share with others about how you navigated that possibly tricky situation to create that middle ground where you might not be friends, but you're definitely not enemies, or you found a way around a particular divestive type of idea that either of you had and found some common ground to work upon and work together on. These are important areas to make sure that we grow our relationships and our network with other people so we can expand our own knowledge and experience exponentially. I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Words for Life. If you're interested in life coaching or high performance coaching services, please don't hesitate to go to my website, which is listed below. Be more than happy to set up some free consultation time to figure out if I can help you in the pursuit of your goals or ideas about your life, career, leadership, or team building. Please don't hesitate to reach out at my website. And if so, I'd love to talk to you. Other than that, thank you for joining me on this episode of Words for Life. I hope you join me on the next one. Thank you, and have a great day.